Aloha, this is Monica Ferrer with Neighborhood Place Acona. Today we will be talking about teaching our keiki stranger danger with facts instead of fear. Fact: the vast majority of child abduction and sexual abuse cases are not committed by strangers, and most missing children are not kidnapped but have run away from home. Child safety experts recommend a more comprehensive approach that goes beyond stranger danger. Teach your keiki to recognize suspicious behaviors regardless of the context. No adult should be asking our keiki to help them find their dog without their parents' permission. And be on the lookout for suspicious behaviors. This gives them an idea of what is appropriate and what isn't appropriate when they are by themselves. Kids should be wary of strangers, and the fundamental stranger danger practices are sound. However, there are better ways to teach stranger danger. Not all strangers are bad people, but there are some fundamental things to be on the lookout for. Don't accept rides from strangers. Adults have no business asking a child to get into the car with them. It is good for your family to have a code word only you and your family know that you can use for a family friend or relative to give your keiki in an emergency situation when you are unable to get them. This way, your keiki knows it is okay to go with the individual and gives them the power and safety to make them feel good about their choice. Stranger danger is not enough. 93% of childhood sexual abuse is committed by an adult known to the child. That is why we need to give our keiki ammunition so they can have more control over their body and be able to use their words when something is happening that they don't feel comfortable with. Consent is key. Our keiki need to know that their body is their body, and they need to understand that they control who can and cannot touch their bodies. This includes hugging or giving a kiss to someone, and that they can leave when a situation feels uncomfortable or wrong, and most importantly, tell an adult if they don't feel comfortable. It's good to remind our keiki that offenders can look like anyone. A third of abuse perpetrated against minors is committed by another minor, and 10% of those offenders are females. And let's remind our keiki about cyberspaces. When they are on their smartphones or on a computer, predators can be in the cyber world and can cause equally as much damage as someone you meet on the street. How do we help our keiki? We talk about it. Kids need to practice saying no and telling an adult when someone touches them in an appropriate manner. And as parents, we need to back them up. When a child decides they don't want to be touched, either in a tickle fight or when they meet auntie or uncle, a parent needs to respect that. Sometimes hugs aren't okay, or a kiss isn't okay, or a pat on the back isn't okay. We need to know, and our keiki need to know, that what they feel comfortable with is what happens. It is a good idea to do some role playing. Role play different scenarios gives kids a chance to practice protecting themselves because defying adults can be very difficult for kids. But the response to anyone who tries to push a child into a situation that feels wrong isn't always easy. Some kids feel more comfortable defying adults, but not all keiki do. From a stranger on the street to a family friend, it is all the same. Get away and tell a trusted adult. Teach your keiki to trust their instincts in uncomfortable situations. Do some role playing with them via questions. Ask them, what should you do if you are at a friend's house and someone there tries to touch you or show you an inappropriate material? If you can role play with them in practice, it gives them the confidence when they find themselves in real life situations. Remember that consent is everything. Scolding a child for not kissing or hugging a relative can send mixed messages about what they control. It can even make them feel ashamed about not wanting to be touched, which can be problematic down the road. Remember, it is their choice to let anyone or no one hug them or give them a kiss or hold their hand. It puts the power into them so they can make the choices and know when it's not okay. As parents, we also need to make sure that we support our Keiki when they do exercise control over their bodies. Reassure them that their choice is good and important to them and what they need. And finally, don't shame them if something happens to them. You are there to help them and support them as parents and caregivers. They need you to believe them and to help them navigate this difficult situation.